what is the culture at United? Generally, I am asking, what is the culture at United? Because even as a United fan, I no longer know. And when he got there, it took him, what was it, a year, 2 years, 3 years? But then he was finally able to take the team to winning ways. Manchester United, the biggest football club in England, has really struggled to find success since Sir Alex Ferguson. The recent appointment of Ruben Amorim as manager has reignited discussions about the club's direction and the systemic issues that may stop him from succeeding. In this video, I'm going to try to provide a comprehensive analysis of the factors contributing to managerial difficulties at Manchester United and how Ruben Amorim can go on to be successful at United. But the story of Ruben Amorim at Manchester United is not just about Ruben Amorim, because we've seen managers coming to United, some of them world-class managers, some of them some of the best managers of all time. They come into United and they are not able to be successful. So first, what I want to do is go back to every single manager that we have had since Sir Alex Ferguson, starting with David Moyes and going all the way down to Erik ten Hag, and see where Ruben Amorim can try to, not step into the same mistakes those guys made. Because, as I've said, all of these managers have been unable to bring the biggest success in football to United, which is of course the Premier League and the Champions League. The closest was Jose Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer actually, but again they both failed to bring the big trophies to United, and I'm trying to understand why. Because there's no point of us signing a manager like Ruben Amorim, taking him from Sporting, just for him to come to the club and fail once again. So starting off with David Moyes, whose tenure lasted from 2013 to 2014. He was handpicked by Sir Alex Ferguson as his successor. As we all know, David Moyes' tenure was marked by 7. If you're watching this video, there's a very good chance you're a massive sports fan like me. And if I'm speaking for myself, I really enjoy being part of sports communities. That is why at the end of last year, I created a Reddit community for sports fans like me and you. This is a community where we can talk about all types of sports: football, basketball, Formula 1, tennis, golf, whatever it is you like. You can come to this community and talk about it. What's more is that I am looking to feature a lot of the content on this Reddit community on this YouTube channel, to where we can make reactions and other commentary content about this Reddit community. A big reason why I love sports, and probably why you like sports as well, is this community element about it. So if you're a sports fan like me, please join the Reddit community and let me know your good and bad sports takes. Place finish, the club's lowest in over 2 decades, leading to his dismissal before completing a full season. Louis van Gaal was then brought in from 2014 to 2016, and he introduced a possession-based style of football, securing an FA Cup victory in 2016, but it was too little too late. Inconsistent league performances and failure to qualify for the Champions League resulted in Louis van Gaal being fired shortly after winning the 2016 FA Cup. And with Louis van Gaal, we can see what I was talking about before: a multiple league winner in the Eredivisie and Bundesliga with Ajax and Bayern respectively, but when he came to United, he was not able to do anything substantial. And then came Jose Mourinho from 2016 to 2018, one of the greatest managers of all time, easily a top 5 manager of all time. Mourinho delivered the Europa League and League Cup in his first season, signaling a potential resurgence. He was then able to finish in 2nd place in the following season, and he very famously said that it was his biggest achievement in his career. Mourinho's playstyle was very defensive, as we all know, and he had a lot of conflicts with key players, notably Paul Pogba. And as we all know, Jose Mourinho was let go in 2018 after a horrible start to the season where United were in 6th place. And really and truly, Jose's resume needs no introductions. A multiple Champions League winner, multiple Premier League, La Liga and Serie A winner, one of the greatest managers of all time, but even Jose was not able to do anything substantial at United. And then we brought in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who I thought was a mistake, just like David Moyes. However, even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tries his best to bring some type of success to the club. Initially appointed as a caretaker, Solskjaer tried to revitalize the squad, earning a permanent role. Despite reaching multiple semi-finals in the Europa League final, his tenure lacked silverware and a series of poor results, leading to his exit in 2021. And then came my second favourite manager after Jose Mourinho, Erik ten Hag. Just like Mourinho and Louis van Gaal, Erik ten Hag had massive success before United, winning the Eredivisie multiple times. He worked under Pep Guardiola, and he took a young, inexperienced Ajax team to a Champions League semi-final. And as I always say, if it wasn't for Lucas Moura having the game of his life, Erik ten Hag would have a Champions League final under his belt. Ten Hag's tenure at United began with optimism, focusing on discipline, attacking football. However, internal disputes, underwhelming performances, and a horrible start to the 2024-2025 season culminated in his dismissal. And this then leads us to Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim, who I've made a video about him in the channel already, so I won't go too deep into Ruben Amorim. You can go watch the video if you want to. But Ruben Amorim, just like ten Hag, just like Van Gaal, and just like Mourinho, maybe not to the same high level, but Ruben Amorim has had previous success with Sporting, especially when you consider the fact that Sporting hadn't won the league in over 18 years before he got there. And when he got there, it took him, what was it, a year, 2 years, 3 years, but then he was finally able to take the team to winning ways. And although I give examples of managers that failed at United, now I want to give examples of players who failed at United but then went on to do very well after United. And this is really going to help us to understand what the deep-rooted issues within the club really are, because it's not just great managers coming to the club and failing, it's also promising players coming to the club, failing at United, but then going on to have amazing careers. Starting off with Memphis Depay, he signed with high expectations. Depay struggled to make a significant impact at United. After his transfer to Lyon, Depay was able to revive his career, becoming a prolific scorer and playmaker, which eventually led to a move to Barcelona. And then we have Romelu Lukaku. Despite a respectable goal tally in his first season at United, Lukaku faced criticism at United for inconsistent performances and for not fitting Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's playstyle. A move to Inter Milan saw him flourishing, scoring 64 goals in 95 appearances and playing a pivotal role in scoring the Serie A title in the 2020-2021 season. And then a very curious example of Di Maria, one of the best players of all time before coming to United at Real Madrid. After coming to United and failing, Di Maria then left for PSG, and his career once again went on to reach amazing heights. He arrived at United as a marquee signing, but his time at United was a Champions League final appearance. So as we can see, it's not just the problem that managers come and go, it's also the problem that players come as promising young stars or as promising veteran players, and they come to United, they fail, but then they are able to do something meaningful after United. So the problem once again is at United. So we can very easily go on to blame the board. But even within the board, we can see the example that over the last 10 or 11 years, the board has also changed. Since 2013, United have experienced significant turnover in executive positions, including CEOs and directors of football. This instability has contributed to a lack of consistent vision and strategy, affecting long-term planning and decision-making. And I think this has had a massive impact on the club's recruitment, which has been criticized for lacking coherence and often characterized by reactive rather than proactive signings. High-profile acquisitions have frequently underperformed, leading to questions about scouting effectiveness and alignment with managerial philosophies. And once again, this is bringing us closer to what I really believe is the biggest problem at United. But before I do that, I just want to give you other examples of other big clubs around Europe who were struggling but were able to turn things around, something that United have not been able to do in over 11 years. Starting off with United's biggest rival, Liverpool. Under Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool implemented a clear vision emphasizing high-pressing football and strategic recruitment. Investments in players like Virgil van Dijk and Alisson Becker were instrumental in securing the Premier League and Champions League titles. And then you have the example of a team like Atletico Madrid, who are in the same league as Barcelona and Real Madrid. Diego Simeone's tenure is marked by tactical discipline and a strong defensive foundation. Consistent leadership and a clear identity have enabled Atletico to compete effectively against financially superior rivals, resulting in multiple La Liga titles. Even in the period of Messi and Ronaldo, Atletico Madrid was still able to be competitive. So why can't United be competitive in the Premier League? Finally, I just want to give the example of the teams in Italy. Teams like Inter Milan and AC Milan have undergone strategic rebuild focusing on youth development, tactical coherence and prudent financial management, which has led to both teams winning the Serie A. So, after looking at all of this, the managerial change, players coming and going, and examples of how the board has also changed, and then examples of teams around Europe who have also struggled but have been able to find success one way or another. And when I look at all of this, I genuinely believe that the biggest problem at United, and why I believe that right now Ruben Amorim is unable to succeed, is culture. Manchester United, the biggest problem at United is with culture. And you have to point the finger at the guys at the very top, because when talking about organization success, we're talking about a business like United, we're talking about football, culture seems to be the thing that's holding United down. Just look at an example like Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp. The culture was very clear. You look at team at Atletico Madrid, who have been able to compete with Barca and Real Madrid. The culture at Atletico, whether you like it or not, is very clear. You look at the new culture within Inter Milan, Napoli, AC Milan, the culture is very clear. What is the culture at United? Generally, I am asking, what is the culture at United? Because even as a United fan, I no longer know. Under Sir Alex, I thought it was about trying to get the youth to become superstars, or getting players like Ronaldo, Rooney, and then players from the academy like Scholes, Beckham, Gary Neville. But that's not something we do anymore. We can't develop talent like we used to anymore. So what is the culture at United? That is something that needs to change as soon as possible if Amorim wants to be able to win anything. The absence of a unified footballing philosophy has led to a disjointed performances and managerial instability. Each managerial change has often brought a shift in playing style and recruitment strategies, preventing the establishment of a continuous club identity. Implementing a clear vision, consistent leadership, and a coherent transfer strategy are essential for United to return to winning ways. Learning from clubs with successful rebuilds such as Liverpool and Atletico Madrid could provide a blueprint for sustainable success. While Ruben Amorim brings a fresh perspective and innovative tactics, the systemic issues at United prevent significant challenges. Without addressing the underlying structural and cultural problems at United, the club risks repeating past mistakes. A comprehensive overhaul emphasizing a unified vision and strategic planning is imperative for sustainable return to glory. Anyways guys, I appreciate you watching the video to the end. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, do all those things, so please help me grow this channel. And as per usual, I'll see you soon.